we are going to inspect and inventory this exact dark blue 2018 BMW.
The mirror cap is smooth, the seal is gritty, and this outer edge shows how long the vehicle has been sitting here.
The front corner feels cool and dusty, and I want to follow every seam before we open anything.
We are looking at the rear left quarter panel of this dark blue BMW X5. The rear handle pocket holds the finest grit, so I am checking it slowly before moving deeper.
The cabin feels darker and quieter than the outside lane, and I want to keep the first look very calm. This business card stack is thin, dry, and still neatly aligned even after sitting in the lower pocket.
The front mat is holding fine concrete dust and tiny grit, so I am lifting the edges very gently.
This charging cable is lightly twisted and dusty, but the connector ends still feel clean and smooth. The vent fins are dry, and the shelf edge holds a soft line of dust that makes every movement sound delicate. This front tray feels matte and slightly gritty, and the small corners hold the quietest little shadows. These insurance papers are folded tight, a little stiff from the dry air, and dusty mostly along the outer corners.
The passenger side looks deeper in tone, and the lower carpet hides the darker details even more. The audio features a consistent female ASMR whisper throughout the scene, characterized by The glove box lining is smooth and quiet, and the stacked papers shift with a soft, dry scrape. This visor slot is shallow, but thin items can still stay here unnoticed for a long time. The underside here is narrow and shadowed, and the smallest pieces collect right where the trim changes.
This side pocket is narrow and shallow, but it still sounds hollow enough to deserve a slow check. The carpet under the mat is darker, softer, and packed with fine dust from repeated use. This OBD adapter is compact, squared, and lightly gritty on top from sitting beside the rail. The visor pocket is thin and quiet.
The rear seat feels more enclosed and calm, but the lower spaces are always where the hidden details stay.
This buckle gap is tight and deep, and the leather crease beside it can hide very small things.
This little notebook has a dry cover, squared corners, and pages that barely separate with the glove. The center seam is firmer than the sides, and the release point feels slightly cooler under the glove. The rear right seat back pocket of the BMW X5. The leather feels smooth here.
This membership card sat deep in the center recess, flat, clean-edged, and almost invisible against the shadow.
This floor area sounds softer because the mat is thicker here, but the rail edge still catches the sharper grit. The right seat seam narrows sharply, so anything flat here can disappear beneath the fold.
The center hump has a narrow seam where dust gaiters in a line, and the trim behind it feels slightly hollow. The cargo opening is wide and quiet, and the lower floor feels rougher than the cabin mats. This USB flash drive is hard-edged, cool to the touch, and almost invisible in the shadow of the left recess.
This warning triangle pouch is flat, fabric covered, and coated with a soft, dusty film from the hidden floor layer.
The lower cargo lid feels denser than the mat above it, and the compartment underneath sounds much deeper. The hidden front margins are drier and tighter, and the dust here sits in thinner, quieter lines. The inner tailgate cavity is small and hollow, and every touch against this plastic sounds sharper in the enclosed garage.
Right here, under the hood, gently moving the wiring cover, tracing the edge of the recess. Oh, this mini flashlight is compact, ridged, and lightly dusty from sitting deep in the front recess.
These front hidden seams are narrow and clean-edged, and the metal here feels colder than the cabin surfaces. Checking the driver's side sill now. Moving down to the lower seat rail here on this BMW X5.
This single key was hidden deep beside the rail, cool and slightly worn.